the end of Louise here. Now, I'm gonna throw it out all on the table for you guys. America is facing financial issues. The money problem is going bad. And it's getting even worse by the passing decade, by the passing generation. We can't even compete in this daily day-to-day market anymore as a society. We got people quitting jobs, people not wanting to work these days. And we got like a lot of financial problems, a lot of financial issues. And we got like people leaving work because of this whole pandemic. I mean, pandemics come and go. But we need to get back on track though. I mean, we got like hi there. No, I wasn't, dude. But like I was saying, we need to keep this whole thing. You're sure there is uh, a financial crisis though? Those are a lot of pennies in the thumbnail. Yeah, I know. Whoa. So, my friend, you should date him. No. But like I was saying, there's like a lot of homeless people like struggling to get by in life because the system is set up to where even the working class what what the map of in the background. It's the world. That's because people were, humiliating me. But like I was saying, the financial issues that America is facing is because the government is collecting taxes and the poor people are getting even poorer. The middle class people are getting choked out of every dime. And from from my experiences, it's hard for those with like an 8th grade education level to get a job. If they're stuck at like an 8th grade education level, it's hard for them to get a job or a career. Which in turns, it's hard for me to get a job because of me being stuck with an 8th grade education level. And it's more and more and more and more harder for people to get, a bigger paying job. Well, I'm stuck at like an 8th grade education level because the simple fact is no one in the government don't want to hold these damn education board of directors and education commissioners to, you know, aid in, keeping me from being expelled out of high school. I am one of those individuals that are financially screwed over because job prospects are out of our reach. We can't even get our lives together because we got to follow some bullshit societal normal rules about, oh, you can't go bank robbing or else you go to prison. Fighting in school. But what I'm proposing is that we start punishing the board of education directors and the some about like some dude dissing on me though, disrespecting me and shit. But the commissioner or the district education commissioner never really concluded that though. But the education directors, the board of directors, and this district governor and district managers and education, like, and well, the education commission, district education commissioner wound up, not taking responsibility for their actions. And that's how I end up being expelled because of their legal team keeping me out of school. And well, I'm one of those individuals who are severely screwed out of the whole entirety of the education system being so broken that it leads me to getting so upset that I just really refuse to work. I refuse to get a job because of all that is going on. Until I start getting the whole old school fashioned way of hiring people to be taken seriously. And what is proposing is that we start like normalizing a lot of holding the education board of directors accountable for their bullshit. Knock them out of their bullshit that they're on. And start replacing high school principals, vice principals, the worst teachers that should be fired, and things like that. Because America's facing a financial crisis. People are not wanting to work these days. And the very little bit that do want to work are being kept out of the workforce. Like those people with a low education level want to work. The people with a high education level don't want to mess around with a 9-to-5 job because some of them end up doing DoorDashes, Grubhub, be their own bosses type of people. And these 9-to-5 jobs can't stomach that those with like a low education level need a job, and the ones with a much higher education level are chasing billion-dollar paying careers and not playing around with those 9-to-5 jobs no more. If you want to save your business, hire those with a low education level to keep your business afloat. But no, societal norms is getting so bad. It's getting so bad that we have to normalize higher education level over work ethic. The work ethics is to be taken much more seriously. No, I'm saying this because I'm facing financial problems. Because frankly, no, they shouldn't. Basically, all I'm saying is I don't have very much money on hand. And whatever this is the only amount of money with like very few dollar bills I have on hand to actually spend out in public. But I can't even get more money to be able to put a, you know, basically have like a way to buy much larger and much more expensive items, because I'm next to broke. I'm next to poor. And yet a lot of issues are going on because people like me are being kept out of the workforce. The 9 to 5 workforce that was a staple in America for generations. The financial climate changes in the workforce is changing from bad to worse. Because businesses, want to hire those with a higher education, when those with a higher education don't want nothing to do with 9 to 5 jobs. What do these businesses and store owners think this is? The 1950s, to where those with a higher education cared about 9 to 5 jobs these days? No, they're going into like medical field. They're getting massive paying, more bigger or more massive paying jobs or careers. And these store owners with their 9 to 5 job providing work scene and or work environment, they don't want to admit that what they're doing to their companies is wrong. They're not hiring people with a low education level who want to work versus those people with a higher education that have bigger careers. Like, there are like a lot of people with like a lot of careers in like medical field. The medical field is having a financial crisis too, because doctors are barely getting paid because I don't know, the people who go in the hospitals or the emergency room aren't as well endowed with like money, because they don't know how to pay the hospital for the medical bills. Doctors are getting shafted because the people who are in charge of 9 to 5 jobs aren't hiring people. How are these doctors going to get paid thousands, if not millions of dollars, that if we have like poor people going around trying to get like a 9 to 5 job, homeless people having a problem with the way things have been going for their families. The poor to homeless class and the middle class, and the poor to middle class and the homeless to poor class, and then the middle to upper class people are facing financial crisis while the rich to elite class, the elite class, don't have to work a day in their life. Financial crisis on all fronts, and we are facing them. We have a lot of wasteful government spending. And yet, a lot, and I mean a lot of people want to work, but the store owners and business owners don't want to hire those with low education because they think, oh, you'll bring down the business. Like, no, that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to save the 9-to-5 job aspect of our culture, of our world. Hire them. Don't turn somebody who has a low education away for a job because you're worried that your little thing that you got going on that is making y'all a lot of money. You're worried that those with a low education aren't willing or aren't capable of following tasks on the job. I tried job hunting, but one thing I really don't like is how we have to prioritize higher education over higher work ethics. The latter would be much more efficient versus the prior. A higher education will be the downfall of 9-to-5 jobs here in this country, in America, in the USA. Because the more higher academic you go in your education, the more you're like way up there with the grades of those who have like much more higher paying careers versus a 9-to-5 job. Those who have like a high school education or over a high school education and into college have higher paying careers. But those who didn't get a much more advanced education in college were stuck working as teachers. Gee, go figure. Because leave it to America to have very poor standards of prioritizing education over work ethics. Those with a low education may have better work ethics than those who have a higher education, because those who have a higher education probably have multi-billion-dollar paying careers versus a 9-to-5 job. America prioritizes one over the other, which is not good. Financial crisis is ahead of America. Now, I'm saying this because I really care about keeping the 9-to-5 job thing for those who have low education level. And the much higher paying jobs are for those who have a much higher education level, like college or university or private school education level. Now, what we need to do is start selling a lot of stuff from our 9-to-5 jobs. Like, we should sell a lot of stuff to make up for a lot of things. Well, companies shouldn't hire those with like general or grand master PFH or PhD or a master's with a BFA from a college. Companies should hire people based on work ethics, not race. And that's why I myself feel like as a pasty skinned person myself, I find being that it's like not also academic discrimination right in this day and age, racial discrimination against whites, and gender discrimination because a white uneducated male such as myself really can't even. Have you asked Zeus to get you a job? Zeus already gave me one job, is to save people from their sins. That's all he could do for me. But I'm just saying, a lot of people refuse to hire people with a higher work ethic over those with a high school diploma or a college degree. Those with a high school diploma, will maybe make an exception, but those with a college degree don't want nothing to do and won't touch a 9-to-5 job. People that graduated from college don't want to touch a 9-to-5 job. But people with a middle school and high school education want to work a 9-to-5 job. And the financial crisis is skyrocketing. The unemployment is skyrocketing in America. People are going more and more and more and more and more and more and more homeless by the passing decades, by the passing generations. Because why? Because some people don't want to hire people who have like a low education level. Because they think it's going to be bad for business. Bullshit. This isn't the 1980s where you have free choice of who you hire and who you don't. This isn't the 90s where you could just force somebody to give into the drugs, the alcohol, being in horrible relationships that are abusive, prison time for joining a gang because of the simple fact that job prospects are so poorly limited for them. This is in the 90s. This is 2022. Start hiring people with only an 8th grade education level. It's not going to kill you to hire somebody with low level or mid to low level mid to low level education. It's not going to kill you to do that. You have to make sacrifices because, frankly, I am struggling to find myself a job. Wake up, America. Start hiring people with an 8th grade stuck at 8th grade education level. Hire them people. They want to work way more than those with a college degree. Those with a college degree end up getting in stem cells, medical field, or becoming a lawyer or an attorney or a judge or whatever. They're also getting involved in much higher, extravagant careers, and they won't touch a 9 to 5 job. They simply just won't. And I'm just saying, we need to keep hiring people with only an 8th grade education level. Because they really want to work. More so than those with a college degree. They want to work a 9 to 5 job just to get by in life. Because those with a college degree don't want to touch a 9 to 5 job. Thusly, these stores are trying to pander to the wrong demographic. The wrong academic demographic that they're trying to appeal to is college kids. College kids are getting involved in medical and court system careers. Some of them are becoming sports athletes. Sports athletes, criminal justice career, medical career chasing type of people, sports career type of people. Very few of them Hollywood superstars. And no one who has a college degree want to touch a 9 to 5 job unless if they are a teacher. Because we need educators in America. We don't need store owners trying to appeal to the college kids that don't want to work a 9 to 5 job. That's where the financial crisis comes into play. These store owners think, oh, everyone who's a millennial is a college kid. Well, congrats, dude. You're one of very few. But like I was saying, only 5% of college kids want to work a 9 to 5 job. But the 95% don't. The 95% are just going into the medical field, going into being a sports athlete, going into being a criminal justice career chasing type of individual, joining the military and joining either the ghost team or the special forces. Only 5% of college kids with a grandmaster degree, a BFA, PhD, and what is the ghost team? It's a little 4-man team branch of the U.S. government's military. But the 5% of those who have like a grandmaster's degree or in something, they want to work a 9 to 5 job. And the financial crisis is skyrocketing by the passing generations. And the government debt is on the rise because of why our politicians are not holding these store owners accountable for refusing to hire people with a low education level that'll pretty much help the entire economy. Yeah, they should raise the minimum wage to at least $400 a fucking hour for those who have low education levels. And then on top of that, there's like a lot of people who can't even afford to keep their homes in America. Because home owning, home rental, apartment owning is half of 10 grand. 10 and a half G's of money. Or maybe even half of 1 grand to be able to pay for rent. And you have to pay 25 grand if you're going to file a mortgage for your home. And that's fucking expensive. That rises the financial debt and financial deficit problems. And don't get me started on the vehicle ownership or rental. The cost of vehicle repairs is expensive as fuck. The cost of keeping your car is fucking insurmountable, because the financial situation is putting a financial strain and a financial burden on the person who owns their own home, owns their own car, and is fucking irritating. How are we supposed to live on $100 or $400 a fucking week? Some of us got families out here that need to be taken care of. But no, we have to pay taxes to a government that really don't want to understand the concept of helping your people out. The financial crisis in America is getting bad these days. We have no way to figure out a plan, a real fucking plan to keep people from being homeless. And those who want to move out their family's house have it way worse than those who are trust fund babies. Those kids that are basically multi-gajillion billionaires don't have to work a day in their lives. They could blow like 10 grand on a little condo, another 10 grand on a mansion, 20 grand on a island beach resort. And yet the poor kids or middle class kids know nothing about what it's like to be a trust fund baby, because they are afraid of being homeless. That's one thing that people like me have to worry about, being homeless. Hold on. I'll be right back. What? Sorry, I'm back, guys. But like I was saying, financial problems are a burden. Always was. If you want to have your store have a digital job application, save that for the college kids. Sorry. But for those who have a low education level, go the paper route of job applications. It's not going to kill you to do so. Uber Eats and DoorDash are beating out the 9-to-5 jobs that refuse to hire those with a low education level. Just saying. My mom's been dead. Actually, Hera killed my mom. Zeus didn't. I live with my aunt. My aunt, not so much. But this has just been Jason Muncie, Indiana Louise, talking about the financial crisis that America's going through.